July 2024 video horoscopes with me, Lada from astrolada.com. July is forming up to be a very interesting month, a month of battle between light and darkness, but the light predominates because the month starts with a new moon on Sirius, the most spiritual, powerful star, the brightest star in the sky with energy. The Christed energy is carried there, which with only with good aspects. Then the whole month, Jupiter is passing over the eye of the bull, the luckiest star, according to ancient astrology of Hermes, the star of success and abundance. And Jupiter is the planet of success and abundance. And this happens once in 12 years only. This is the star of Archangel Michael. So we have the energy of the Christ consciousness through the new moon coming to us. It's Sirius is the star of freedom, of being free. That's why a lot of Independence Days happen for different countries around that day. So the energy of freedom and spiritual awakening comes through the new moon, while through Jupiter we have the energy of Archangel Michael coming who fights the dark forces. Simultaneously with that, Uranus and Mars are coming together, and in the middle of the month they join on the critical degree 25 degrees of Taurus, where projected the star Algol, a demonic star, the most inauspicious star. It has like demonic influence there, and it's star of catastrophes and shocks and beheadings and losing one's head. But that's the only negative influence. Or it can also be positive, because through the star Algol you can cut off unwanted things, like the head of Medusa is cut off. You can cut off unwanted things from your life. But there is the gathering of this dark energy. But Jupiter, Archangel Michael, Sirius, the Christed energy of the ascended masters as well, energy of the teachers of humanity, is there to help us. I'm so excited. Let's dive into the 12 signs to describe it through each of the 12 signs. And before that, I want to introduce you to my new 4-hour tutorial that I've recorded for you already. On the first 12 hours, 1,000 ones were sold. So thank you so much for your trust in me. It speaks about each of the 12 signs and the 5 connected themes in the life of your rising sign, in the life of a person according to their rising sun or moon sign. Do you know that every person, every sign has 5 topics in their lives that are connected? For example, do you know that Aquarius people, especially Aquarius rising, their money and financial success very much depends on their social connections and on their friendships, because the ruler of the second house is also the ruler of the 11th house, second house of money with 11th house of friends or social network. That's why very often Aquarius need to social network and can become abundant through that. Or if their friendships are not good, their money is not going to be good. Or, for example, let's take someone else, Taurus rising. Their second house of finances is connected, is the same ruler as the 5th house. So their financial state can really change after having a children, or if they do something creative that they really love. But there's 5 such topics that are interconnected for each sign. For example, why is Scorpio such a battlesome sign? Because the ruler of Scorpio is also the ruler of the 6th house of battles, disputes, arguments, and enemies. Scorpio is the sign that has the most enemies, because the same planet that rules them rules their 6th house of enemies. But because it's Mars, that planet that rules them, they win over their enemies. But it means they have more enemies. So so I would describe you and how to do remedies if one area of your life is not working, for relationships, for your career. Like, for example, for Capricorn, if their career is not working, which is ruled by Libra, Venus, they should focus on the 5th house, which is also ruled by Venus, to raise the vibration of their Venus, and their career will also start flowing. So they might do some fun stuff, creative stuff, or even after having a child, their career can take off. But anyway, if you're interested to take this course, it's $24, 4 hours, and it becomes $39 after the 15th of July. Now let's start. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, July 2024. Gemini, the biggest event for you this month is that Jupiter, the most auspicious planet of all, as you can see it here, is transiting through your sign, Gemini, but it's passing right in front of one of the most auspicious stars in the sky called Aldebaran, or the Eye of the Bull, as you can see. The Eye of the Bull is known by ancient sources to be to give abundance, opportunities for wealth, success, luck, all the best things. The ancient Hermes books used to say that this is the luckiest, the best star, and it's situated currently in your sign in Gemini. And Jupiter, the whole month, is pretty much around the Eye of the Bull. And it's the month where you have like a last chance to expand, to grow, to start new opportunities that can bring abundance, that can bring that down the line. They can be reason for growth, expansion, luck in many different positive sources. And this is the star of Archangel Michael, which is currently in your sign. And Jupiter is transiting there, activating it for celestial protection, for divine inspiration, for connecting with the light forces, for success. You know, Archangel Michael is powerful. He wins over the dark forces. So in some way, especially Geminis that are born in the first, I don't know, from 7, 8 to 15 degrees might feel it the strongest. But for all Gemini, it's an auspicious moment, especially after the new moon on the after the 5th of July, when the moon starts growing. Use this month to use the incredible gifts of Jupiter over the Eye of the Bull, the star Aldebaran, which is blessing you the strongest. And it happens only once in 12 years. And from August, Jupiter will start getting squared by Saturn. So can't show here. Sorry. Jupiter will start getting squared by Saturn, so the opportunities for growth and expansion will kind of become more limited, with more maybe slowed down. They will demand harder work, but now the inspiration directly from the angelic archangelic realms of Archangel Michael are pouring down on you. The new moon, we start talking about it, will be in your in your second house. And this new moon around the 4th and 5th of July is the new moon. It's happening with the star Sirius, and it's considered the other most auspicious star in astrology. So we have a lot of protective energy this month. The star Sirius is connected to Horus, to the energy of Isis and Horus, to the energy of Jesus and Mother Mary. Extremely, in other cultures, it will be symbolized by some other deity. But imagine the energy of this, and it's the dog star. It's extremely protective. It's the star connected to all the ascended masters of the earth. The highest spiritual vibration star is Sirius, according to ancient knowledge. And the sun and the moon are aligning with the star. And this is what the new moon, it's a new moon of freedom, of spiritual insight, of something that can liberate you. Sirius is a star of liberation. That's why around the 4th of July, when the sun activates it, many countries have their liberation day, their freedom day, America, Canada, France, and so on, the awakening, very spiritually awakening star. So in your case, Gemini, it's happening this new moon in the second house. So let's say the first 15, 20 days of July can bring you renewal in a positive way in regards to your finances, in regards to your material security, in regards to those things that you support your life with, having to pay bills or having to provide with food, with clothes. So there might be even some insight, download of powerful information in that direction, which is the right way to proceed, or some positive renewal of the situation there. And even download, because it's such a potent star series, about how to eat, what is the right way to eat, what is the right way to have security. And don't forget that the whole month, Jupiter, the planet of abundance, is in the most abundant sphere in the eye of the bull in your sign. So very auspicious months for all of those things. Starting something that will be successful after the new moon with Sirius, which is God's way of liberating us and freeing us. giving us insights and so on, with Jupiter and the most auspicious star in your sign. In the middle of the month, it can get a little bit more tense because Uranus and Mars around the 14th, 15th of July will conjunct. That's in your 12th house. So kind of 12th house is our blind spot behind us. So yes, you have to be a bit careful that maybe some secret information can come out that surprises you. But the Uranus and Mars are having a lot of nice aspects to them. So it will turn out for the well, but it can be shocking, surprising, maybe some secret, maybe something that was hidden from you can come to the surface this month as well. And that can put you into action because Mars and Uranus love action. But something that was blindsiding you. And Uranus is the planet of truth and divine wisdom as well, divine knowledge. So there can be some information or some knowledge or wisdom that comes to you that pushes you into action, or that starts making a very fast change in your subconscious, which is the 12th house. And also Uranus and Mars will be conjoined in a star that is a bit dangerous, Algol, or also Medusa Gorgona. So this is a monster. The head of this monster was cut. So we have to be a bit cautious not to be too rash, not to lose our head. And for you, it's in the 12th house. So it's not so strongly, manifesting like if it was in the first house, for example, but still we have to be cautious, especially if you're abroad. 12th house rules, if you're in a foreign country, it might be you have to be a bit more cautious around that time. 12th house is secret enemies, those you don't know about. Someone might be doing something behind your back, but you might find out about it and cut off the head of the monster, separate the monster from its head, cut off connection with such people, because there is the energy of exposure of truth with Uranus. Also, 12th house is the house of our self-undoing habits. So the good way it can be used on this very ruthless star Algol, the Uranus-Mars conjunction, is by there, you can probably see them here. That's Uranus, that's Mars. They're getting close a few days later. You can use that energy to ruthlessly attack and cut off the head of the monster of your self-sabotaging behaviors, of your bad habits, to separate with them forever. So that's how this is also the constellation Kritika, to cut away. It's a knife, a sword. So cut away something 12th house, something that is no longer serving you. 12th house is about endings, and you can do it very fast with Mars and Uranus there without regrets. Cut off someone who is self-sabotaging you, things that are self-sabotaging you, habits, addictions, take fast action in that direction. Or because sometimes people that have those, it can escalate such issues as well, and it can become dangerous, life-threatening, especially the more dangerous addictions, because Uranus, Mars activation on one star that is connected to addictions as well, to lose one's head. But the positive vibration of this is that you can also remove such self-sabotaging behaviors, vices. It's not always substances, it can be behaviors. And it can have like a very cutting, penetrating energy to your subconscious, where you are able to, like, almost intervention. Was it past lifetimes? Was it something you've forgotten from the past that was buried, that you become suddenly aware, it shakes up your subconscious in some way. But otherwise good for eliminating those kind of things that are our hidden enemies, usually ourselves, our biggest hidden enemies, and so on. There might be certain expenses as well around that time. 12th house rules expenses for something unexpected, but the new moon in your second house that starts even earlier will make sure that you receive, with the star Sirius, which is of protection, the guarding dog, and divine spiritual impulses, and also Jupiter abundance in the area of abundance, which is in Sagittarius, which is in Gemini, was also helping you. And then the last is that towards the end of the month, around the 20th, 21st, 22nd, would be the full moon in Capricorn. And this full moon is with Pluto, but it has only good aspects to it. And for you, Gemini, Capricorn is in your 8th house, and Pluto will intensify the energy of 8th house themes because it has similar energy. And the full moon can illuminate something 8th housing, which is again connected to secret, something hidden. Are you seeing a theme here? But don't worry, because Jupiter is protecting. It's in the most powerful area of the whole star, in the eye of the bull, while it's in your sign. So you're protected physically, you're protected divinely, but there can be some really 8th house intensification and focus there, finding a secret, or 8th house is about being, and full moons are about completing. 8th house is our demons again, inner demons, our internal struggles, or it can be a struggle that you're having with someone that is being resolved. It might intensify around the full moon, but after that it's being resolved. It's also other people's resources and finances, so the help we can receive from them. This can be a topic for you that manifests from the 20th onwards of July. The themes of taxes, of insurances, or inheritances can become big, or even of secrets, of topics that are more, you can get very powerful insights into occult, into psychology, psychological realizations about yourself, and even psychological transformation. This full moon illuminates your 8th house of death and rebirth of the ego, of the self. And there's something dying and something being reborn. And that's also the house of psychological transformation. So it's going to happen for you because it has a lot of good aspects in an almost alchemical, powerful way. And there'll be a release also of trauma, because full moon is about release and illumination about trauma that can be released, or it can be strong interest in more taboo topics, more private topics, more private conversations, more confidential information that is entering your life those last 10 days of July, which is all 8 houses topic, or more interest in astrology and so on, those occult topics of life. And I forgot to mention something, Gemini, is that while Jupiter is in your sign in this most powerful area, Aldebaran, it's trining the South Node in your 5th house the whole month, pretty much. And the South Node is in your 5th house. It's about releasing something, and Jupiter will allow you to release this thing from the past in a very easy, healing way. And it can even lead to more abundance. Or you can make you release attachment to a love affair, 5th house from before, that was maybe unhealthy, or that was, hurting you in some way. It can allow you to let go of a romantic relationship if it's not good for you, because Jupiter really wants to protect you and is taking great care of you now. And the South Node, it will be easy way of releasing and letting go. It can be letting go of a child, maybe it's growing up and you have to let them go in some way as well. 5th house is creative projects. South Node is something from the past, and it's on the star of harvesting and reaping this whole month, Vindemiatrix, which can be about reaping the fruits of your creative work. Maybe you started some creative or business project in the last few years. Jupiter and the South Node were together around 2020. But it might have been after that, or even before that, that you can now reap. And I told you, Jupiter is on a star of abundance. The South Node is with reaping and harvest in your 5th house of some creative or business project. That was your idea, your involvement, your center stage. And you can, basically reap the rewards for that in some way. Also, the 1st and the 5th house, where the Jupiter South Node trine is happening, is connected to spiritual, it's very much connected to self-improvement. So the 2 most spiritual planets are impacting Gemini directly, all the air signs, but you in particular. So there is a strong spiritual connotation, not just protection, but ability to, spirituality's biggest thing is to be detached, to let go of the things that are in a sense trapping you. So this is spiritual development, to emotionally outgrow such attached behaviors. And it's a very powerful period for that, for any spiritual practices for you, Geminis. And even, the South Node in the fifth house can be, at some moments, for some of you might be releasing pain from either something connected to childhood or to children, to your children, or to romantic partners. Or it can be if you meet a new romantic partner, because Jupiter is trining your fifth house after all in the South Node. It can be someone from the past, the South Node, or it can be someone from past life or with a very spiritual connection with you. And on this topic, we're completing Taurus. I hope that was helpful for you. Sorry, Gemini.